the MKUltra was the mind control program that happened after this Korean stuff, like with the mind control of psychological arms race. So it's a massive undertaking that had all kinds of sub projects like MK Search, MK Artichoke, Bluebird, Chatter, a whole bunch of other ones if you want to look those up. But it involved this extreme testing with hypnosis and LSD and all kinds of other mind control things, keeping someone awake, and sleep deprivation, more interrogation techniques. And then they did something called psychic driving, where they would dose somebody, like OD them on LSD for like months at a time. And these were just regular, everyday people. This happened in Canada. And they were so open about it that the Canadian government is paying them for their troubles, paying their families back. So, and some of these people lost their memories. They became incontinent and forgot how to use the bathroom and didn't know who they were. They thought they were 5 years old when they were 65. They did some crazy damage, and the benefits of MKUltra have never really been published. Like, what are the benefits of that program? Those documents are still classified. So that's very interesting that whole program happened. But it was massive, and it took place all around the country, and it involved some crazy, crazy stuff that most people, I don't think, would really believe unless you really look into it. But it involved people like Sidney Gottlieb and J. Edgar Hoover, this famous hypnotist named Dr. Milton Erickson, who's the reason that hypnosis got accepted into the American Medical Association. So there's a ton of research on this online. And just overall, it was this massive government program that didn't just involve the CIA. It involved the United States Navy and all kinds of other government organizations to figure out, how do I control a person's mind? And towards the end of it, it was either Harvard or Stanford. I can't remember. This guy's name is Dr. Jorge Delgado. Starts inventing the first like Tesla neural chip, brain implants, and they're testing it on bulls. And then they started testing it on humans. I think he used it on a teenage girl. Dr. Delgado did. And it just kind of went off the rails. Like, there was no oversight. There was no public involvement in decision making. And the people in Washington, D.C., our representatives in Congress, I don't think many of them knew about this until this guy, I can't remember his first name, but his last name was Church, started this thing called the Church Committee, where he's yanking all these officials in and having them stand publicly before Congress and answer all these questions. And that's when all that came to a head. And also that's when all of those programs ended officially.
What about Charles Manson's connection to that? Do you think there's any truth that he may have been one of the ones that were involved in that program?
Everything that I've seen points to absolutely yes. I haven't seen official documents there, but I've seen his name mentioned in a lot of these documents, and he was very closely tied to and saw on a very regular basis this psychiatrist in California named Dr. Joylyn West. And that connection on its own is just, if it's not MKUltra, it's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life. So I definitely think that there was some MKUltra involvement there.